Okay guys, so in today's video we are going to be covering a few of our favorite and currently most popular hats, men's hats. So here we are, let's have a look at that. It's this fine selection of hats. Cool. So let's get started then. So the back row we have here are more urban looking. I always say urban, it means it has connotations sort of hip hop culture, kind of black culture, black fashion, right? But obviously that's massively mainstream and it's now being worn by people who have no clue what hip hop even is or even what the culture of that is, and especially this style. It's now mainstream is what I'm getting at. So that whole urban swagger thing, these ones on the back represent that a lot more. So let's go through the sort of more urban look first, and let's go for the classic beanie. We've got a plain black beanie here. Has been good for years, will be good for many more years. Just like that. Super cool. All right, that's cool guys. You can wear that. Done. Plain hip hop style beanie. And then we're going to jump into, this is the hat we're most likely to get people telling us is lame and we shouldn't be covering this, right? But we think they're wrong because these sun hats can actually be very cool. We've got a leather sun hat here, but we just happen to have the leather one. This could be in any color, it could be in a beige or a blue, or it could have a weird pattern on it. These are still cool if worn in the right combination. So let's whack this on. So there we have it, right? Let's call this the urban sun hat, yeah? Yes, it looks a bit strange, but I think it's very cool. And actually in the combination I'm wearing now, just get the accessories out, it's a bit bad boy and I actually get away with it. And even more so if it was hot and it was summer and I had the vest on. Really cool. But imagine if I was wearing like a blazer or a tweed jacket or something much more high-end and civilized. Well then I would look like a dickhead. Yeah, so we want to be really careful with this hat basically, is make sure the clothes you're wearing go with it. Right now, cool, it's an urban look, I look pretty badass and the hat's working. Put this with the wrong gear, you're gonna look a complete twat. Okay, so third, last and definitely not least is the snapback. Simply called a snapback because the back snaps. You snap the back. Some very inventive, clever man thought of that word. So, snapback can be worn backwards or forwards. And I love snapbacks. I often wear them and they're really cool. Again, they're fairly urban, they've been championed by the hip hop community, rappers, skateboarders, that kind of scene, very city life. But once more, times have changed and this has transcended any kind of bad boys or skaters, and now they're being worn by absolutely everyone. So baseball caps, snapbacks, whatever you want to call them, very cool, very in. There is one thing, however, don't go and get a cheap one. We've got a video when we totally destroy rubbish snapbacks from rubbish high street shops. Link being flashed right now. So be aware that if you're going to buy a snapback, go and buy a quality hip hop brand or go and buy a quality American sports hat. Don't go and buy some rubbish one saying London on the front or something. Anyway, watch the other video and you're going to understand what I'm getting at. Be careful, people. Get the right hat. That's snapbacks. Okay guys, so that was our sort of more urban looking hats. Although actually the beanie and the baseball cap and the sun hat are worn by people who aren't of that kind of, genre of fashion, right? So they're versatile, but just be aware they do have those connotations. So now let's move on into the front row of hats. And first we will go for this rather nice bobble hat. So just like the beanie, but the bobble makes it sort of, a little bit funner really. It's got, childhood connotations and it's a bit cool and it's a bit fun and hey, I'm wearing a bobble, haha. I'm a nice guy, it's fun, it's friendly, it's a kid's thing, right? The bobble hat. And usually the bobble will have some kind of pattern, something going on. It's a little bit less badass than the sort of LA beanie, yeah? Right? Bobble hat, they're totally acceptable. Don't go for one with really in-your-face colours unless you're sure you know how to pull the colours off. All right, go for a low-key pattern and sort of low-key colours. You're wearing a bobble hat enough already. I think wearing a bobble makes you stand out enough. You don't need to go for like bright reds and greens. You just start looking like a Christmas tree or an elf or something, yeah? Go for plain colours, a nice pattern, and the bobble is doing the talking for you. Okay, so that's a bobble hat. Keep it low key. Okay, so our second hat from the smart section is the Grandad cap, or a flat cap, whatever you want to call it, okay? I've been wearing this loads recently, absolutely adore it. It's a nice smart casual hat. It has loads of connotations of Old English and thus a Grandad cap. So it goes really well with tweed jackets, blazers, and it's altogether a smarter hat than the ones we've shown you so far, bobble included. That's a Grandad cap. It looks really good, as I just mentioned, with tweed blazers or the colour matching a blazer with a t-shirt underneath. It's a smart casual hat, and it has connotations of old posh Englishmen, you know. You're not going to look like an old posh Englishman, but it has that kind of air of sort of, you know, civilization about it, of being civilized. I mean, that really does it? Yeah, so that's what I mean. Of the two caps, this one would definitely be the one worn by a lord or a gentleman out strolling in the park. Okay, so it has this kind of, you know, it indicates something a bit higher and more classy, let's just say that. Our third hat is the classic Trilby, right? And I think this one is actually slightly too big for me, although I can't see myself, so you could be cracking up and laughing at how stupid I look at home, or you could be thinking, awesome hat, Ollie. Either way, the hat itself is cool. The size of my head is not important in men's fashion. Anyway, let's move on. So, the Trilby, all right? Classic Trilby hat. Cool. Again, smart casual. Looks really cool for a smart guy going out clubbing. Also can look really funky, actually, in an urban look. But, you know, for the purpose of today's video, we'll keep it in the smart section because it is definitely smarter than these ones in the back row. So this is a Trilby, and just like the Grandad hat, we've gone for this classic pattern in the tweed, although there will be Trilbys and Grandad caps available in all kinds of materials and patterns, and basically the same things I've been saying about the hats, they remain true no matter what the material or the pattern is. So that is a classic Trilby, really smart, great daytime hat, great for the evening as well. And there we have our favourite classic all-time hats. I say classic because these have all been popular and have all been around for a bloody long time. They're not some new invention, right? But they are also very popular right now. So any of these you're seeing in front of me, worn in the right combination, as we've just been through, is going to be a dynamite look for all you guys out there. Anyway, so that was our favourite hats of the time, of the era, and beyond and before. Favourite hats, full stop. Okay guys, so as usual, if you like the video, give us a like. Any comments, always welcome for some feedback. We love that as well. And on that note, subscribe, keep following, plenty more videos on the way. And gentlemen, I bid you farewell.